Hello everyone and welcome to another game app review. I'm Victor Fitzgerald and I'm going to be walking you through an overview of StarBase Orion. StarBase Orion is an app that I've had on the iPad for quite a long time. I enjoy both the single, multiplayer, and pass and play modes, or all of those modes on the game, and I've enjoyed playing them on long haul flights with pass and play and multiplayer with friends back home. What I'm going to do in this game and this review is walk you through the single player mode and what's going to happen when you engage in the game for the first time. I'm going to go ahead and start a new game, and I'm going to go ahead and make it a relatively simple game with just 3 opponents. Now, when you fire up the game, you're going to have to choose which species you want to play as. Now, I'm going to walk through them for you just so you can see what's going on. But I am going to go ahead and choose the faction that I like to choose more often than not, which is the Voss. And I'm going to play as the Voss. Now, when the game loads up, you're going to see a very simple galaxy screen. I like to think of StarBase Orion as a little bit crisper interface than the other real-time space strategy games. And the reason for that is because it is a little bit more akin to what you're used to seeing if you've played the Civilization games in the past. Now, what I can do is I can go ahead and select that planet in the middle of the screen, or that system. Once that system is highlighted, I can select the individual planets to manage what is going on in that economy. By clicking the build icon, I can actually auto-focus each planet to do specific things. So I'm going to focus this planet on military, quick jump to the next planet where I'm going to focus on farming, quick jump to this moon, which is going to be industrial, and the last planet of the system I'm going to go ahead and set to be a research system. And I'm going to back up. Okay, so now if I go ahead and select the ship next to that orbiting system, I see all of those ships that are in my current fleet. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and use that fleet and move them by just tapping the next system to move them on the next path. Alright, now I've gone ahead and selected and moved my fleet. I've changed the way that I'm going to manage each of my planets, and I'm going to go ahead and end this turn. What will usually happen is you'll get prompted for a large set of things, your technology projects, things like that, as you end turns. So you don't have to keep that in your head as you go. It will easily prompt you for it. Alright, now the game will auto-progress through turns until your fleet arrives somewhere and you have something to do. I actually personally like that because I'm not a micromanager. What you're going to notice is that I have a colonization opportunity. When I hit colonize, where my fleet has arrived, I'm going to go ahead and colonize the larger planet and focus this planet on farming because I definitely need some food for all of my folks. And then I'm going to take my fleet and move my fleet on to the next planet. And go ahead and end the turn. Now, the game progresses in this manner for quite a while. You gain resources, you engage in battles, which I am doing in the Hezi system, which is my fleet against this amoeba. When the fleets engage, you actually can go all the way in and give each individual ship orders and engage each target if you would like. I find that to be somewhat handy if I want to engage with protection. But then you're going to need to just run the turn to see how that combat is going to play out. My troops are engaging a relatively large amoeba, which is something that's not the most fun to be running into at this point in the game because it will more than likely wipe out a large number of my ships at this point. So this is how the battle's progressing. If I zoom into combat in each sector, I can actually see it unfolding and how my ships are doing. But what's going to happen is I'm going to need to go another turn to see what happens in the actual battle itself. Alright, I lost 3 ships in the battle, but it gave me a colonization opportunity in a great location, which actually happens to have a set of ruins, which will give me some technological advancements as the next turn begins. I'm going to go ahead and set this to be a farming focus as well, just because at the beginning of the game it's going to be increasingly important to have the resources to continue to expand. Now, in each turn, you have a wide set of options that you can click on and view, which is viewing your empire and how everything is going in each location, to looking at your military. So right now my fleets are not too big, which I'm a little bit concerned about at this point. I can look at my leaders if I have any available, which means basically a governor or a fleet leader that you can assign to a fleet and send them out. It gives various bonuses as you have those. And then I had my diplomacy screen, and I can send agents to do spying actions against each area. And then I have my research and how I'm progressing through research at each stage of the game. Now overall, I think this is a great game. You can save it as you go. You can continue to play more and more. You can pass and play with friends. You can play online. I think it's a great game with a very polished interface and a very simple way to go. The tutorial is very informative and walks you through most of the gameplay modes and mechanics. I think this is a great app. It has stayed on my iPad for a number of months and will continue to stay there as I play it more and more. If you have any questions about this review or our review process in general, please feel free to leave a comment on this post or visit us at victorfitzgerald.com. Thanks for tuning in.